It has been a long day at work, and it has taken it an extra 2 days because of the wintry weather for this to arrive, but this is the proof of Midwest Fantasy Wargame, and we are going to open it not live, but pretty dang close to live. I'll post this video as soon as I can. I don't want to show my address, so I'm trying to come at this from the back side. Of course, that's easy to do. Try not to, all right, here. The color looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed. Of course, Amazon KDP will give you a not for resale. The thickness, that's not bad. I can't decide if I'm going to keep this as white color on the back side. Looks like it's centered up pretty well. Yeah, that looks good. The print quality on the back looks very good to me. The ISBN number came out fine. Front cover is good too. So my question is going to be, did the bleed on the inside? I love the purple color. I mean, you get white paper. Binding looks okay. It's not too thick. I mean, considering the amount of content in here. All right, let's do a quick flip through here. Let me see if I can line this up. Get my computer out of the way. Legal notices. That looks good. My acknowledgement to D.H. Boggs for his help. The index looks like it's, not the index, table of contents looks good. Table of contents. Okay, that's looking all good. I like the drop cap. I'm very fond of the drop cap. I'm learning how to do this stuff in Affinity Publisher. Definitely the book cover for, yeah, you can see kind of this is bleeding through. I don't know if you can pick that up, but you can see the back side. So the paper thickness is working against us a little bit, but yeah. Mr. Diego there, his artwork is looking good. All right, so let's just flip through this a couple pages at a time here. Yeah, page thickness is not too, you get a little bit of bleed through with the content. But as far as like the red, that's showing up good. This, I mean, I could move the image, but tinkering around with these images is a real pain in the butt. So I might not move that in, especially when it starts to impinge upon the layout. But yeah, the page numbers at the bottom are appearing very good. The red, that appears good. It lays pretty flat. All right, let's keep going here. Ah, this color picture turned out okay. That's amazing. Not necessarily the, well, I think it's an okay picture. Let's put it like that. Yeah, again, you're seeing a little bit of bleed through from the back side of the page into the front side, and vice versa. Yeah, that image looks good. This is one of the images that's not done by Diego. And then the front cover, of course, is by Justin Fiel. I've heard that the copyright page ought to include, here's where I acknowledge all the artwork and stuff like that. I've heard that I ought to include the ISBN in my copyright page. Not sure that I care that much about it. Yeah, that bleed is fine. Let's see. Ah, here we go. The typewritten page here. It does look like a typewritten page. That's funny. It does look like a typewritten page laid over top of, wow, that's much better than expected. It looks like a piece of paper laying over top of something else. That's neat. Added a little bit more. The weapons, you have to pay attention here. And same thing, the hull points, those are in a late addition to this. Also, the AC numbering is a little bit different in version 2 here. That's good. Yep. The orange turns out okay. Yep. Orange and blue for the XP, so it's easier to follow the examples because there are 3 XP systems for Arneson's First Fantasy campaign, all of which are very hard to understand if you don't have a good example. So I've tried to fix that. Combat procedure, of course, a little bit different in this one because we've gotten rid of the Stratego stuff. We've talked about that before elsewhere. Missile fire ranges, missile fire example, combat melee. And we kept some of this Strategos related stuff, right? Instead of having ratio modifiers or dice pool modifiers, these factors still apply, but they apply to a much simpler system. All right, damage and effects. Look at that. Even the footnotes are very crisp. Wow. This one I had wanted to move all the way down to the bottom, and it didn't like that, so I moved it up. But the bleed on the inside is perfect. That's kind of how I envisioned it was all the way at the bottom. But I'm still very happy with that piece of artwork. For the critical and catastrophic page, yep. There we go. Another great piece of artwork. Flipping through, so far so good. Dwarf is fine. Yep. Content is fine. This one, yep, that was out toward the edge. This one was out toward the edge. It looks good. The monster section. The robot. Oh, I love this robot. That robot looks good. So is this dwarf coming into encounter area with a couple of giant spiders. These two, I thought about moving them to the outside edge. I think I'm going to have to, because even though they line up here, it just doesn't look right. So I'm going to move these to the outside edge for the final copy. Statistics for the monsters. You can, of course, look at that. That looks good too. Doesn't matter that part of this shadowy figure is off the side there. That doesn't matter. That's good. Oh, I love that picture. There's so much great artwork in this book. I'm very proud of this book. This I had to move. It looks like that's fine. Man, this is it's pretty cool to see something that you've worked on for a lot of hours turn out the way you hoped and expected that it would. Man, just check that out. All right, this has turned into probably a heartbreaker RPG, but if you want to learn kind of, sort of how things might have gone had Dave Arneson published his material and had input from the gamers in the Twin Cities, and had it been fleshed out as a fully operational gaming system, knowing what we know now about how good design ought to be done, how layout should be done, yeah, this is good. I love this picture for the artifact. And I don't mind that it's that far in. It's going to be hard to move this table out. So I think that's fine. The main part of the picture is visible. So even though his shield is a little bit cut off here, it doesn't matter. Yeah, artifacts. Look at that picture of Thor. Thor's hammer. Against a giant snake. Random generation of dungeons. It is interesting, the table headings are less gray and more, they've almost got a golden kind of hue underneath. Could just be the fact that the light is a little bit off. This was an actual map that I produced. It's not the best, but it is mine. So I used the dungeon generation procedure, and characters were actually actively adventuring down in this south part of the map. They came in here and were adventuring down in these areas. And it gave them quite a lot of fun. Okay, that picture turned out good. And that one I worried about a little bit because it's so much black. But it doesn't, because of the fact that this dungeon is here, the bleed through doesn't matter so much. The fact that it's a little darker than it might otherwise be, I think it's still fine. And you can see the eyes. That's good. Here we are in the Brownstein section. The reconstruction of the middle of Brownstein. So somebody played in Bill Hoyt's game where he did this Brownstein for them, and they said pretty much I nailed it. There were a few things that were off, like the ability of artillery to fire on artillery, and things like that. But in the main, it captures the spirit of how it played out at Hoyt's table. So I think I did a good job with the reconstruction. This isn't meant to be this way, so that's fine. Yep. These are the different handouts for the players. Of course, you'll have to photocopy them since they're front and back. Simple mass combat. This was fun to play out. I got videos where I'm actually zeroing that in. That system works really well. Love this piece of artwork. I mean, look at that dwarf. Look at the expression on the dwarf's face. That's just crazy. Crazy good. Simple man-to-man. Starting a campaign. This is what started it all. Somebody had a YouTube video about starting a campaign with OD&D and chainmail and didn't reference it at all. They referenced a bunch of other third-party modern materials. And so that torqued me off. Man, this is... I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased. Oracular tables. And this is all stuff that was extracted from chainmail second edition, or maybe it was third edition, and then I had to order it and things like that. But basically, you get a set of oracles here in the back that are so-so. I think they're so-so, but it's in keeping with the spirit of trying to maintain what materials were on hand in 1972. That worked out well. Look at this. This is good. And then we've got this picture here on the next page for the magic sword section. Look at this, look at the sparks coming off that sword. That's just awesome. So far, so good. I'm very, aside from that one section where I got to move, and now here we are with the ability to use playing cards for random results, the bibliography, which is quite extensive. You want to do research into why I put things together the way they are. I tried to reference everything that went into my thought process on this. And because of the great number of articles from Boggs, he asked and I gave a shout out. And then this is what took so long. The last couple of weeks, I was cranking on this index. Of course, I used the one from Dragons Beyond. It's like the starting point, but there are so many concepts that are different that it required a bit of work. And then definitely the page numbers. I had to be pretty close to final before I wanted to lock in on the page numbers. And again, the same Easter eggs are in this index that were in the one for Dragons Beyond. So if you figured out what the funny references are, there's another reference elsewhere in the book. I won't tell you where it is, but if you see what the Easter eggs are, go ahead and reach out to me. And yeah, about me and about the works of art and acknowledgments of the players. They'll play test some of this stuff. And the CC by license, the open game license, just here for keeping litigious people out. Made in the USA, Columbia, South Carolina. It was printed on 22 January 2026. That's my book. That's one of two books. Dragons Beyond is coming soon, too. We got the proof in the mail for the softcover version. And then once I get these out the door, soft covers look good. I'll do the hardbound covers. I'm happy with the thickness on this. I think this is good. Just a grand total of what, 250 pages, roughly. 251 pages, 252 pages interior. And it looks like it's going to lay flat at the table without too much work. So, yeah. Wandering Monster tables, at least. Your DM's favorite place. All right, guys. Let me know what you think.